Enter the lush and vibrant realm of Ashenvale, dear travelers of Azeroth, and immerse yourself in the timeless majesty of this enchanted forest. As the lore master of this contested territory, I invite you to join me on a quest to explore its hidden wonders and uncover the tales of harmony and discord that have shaped its legacy. Beneath the tranquil canopy, where the whispers of the past mingle with the murmurs of recent conflict, a delicate balance exists as two factions, drawn to Ashenvale's mystic allure, vie for its control. Together, let us delve into the lore that has shaped this land, where the forces of the Horde and the Alliance clash, and the spirits of the forest watch over their sacred domain. Ashenvale's story begins in an age when the continents of Azeroth were vastly different, a time shrouded in ancient mystery. The forest was part of a larger, unbroken landmass until the catastrophic War of the Ancients erupted. This conflict culminated in the Great Sundering, a catastrophic event of such magnitude that it tore the very structure of the world apart, sending great swathes of land into the abyss and permanently altering the continents. In the wake of this world-shattering event, the Night Elves, a race deeply attuned to the natural world and its rhythms, settled in the woods of Ashenvale. It was here, long before the echoes of modern conflicts reverberated through its boughs, that this tranquil forest thrived under the watchful eyes of these caretakers. It was a time of harmony, where the whisper of leaves and the gentle flow of streams spoke of an ageless peace. Thousands of years later, the Third War brought a renewed wave of chaos upon these woodlands. As the Night Elves took up arms to defend their homeland against the invading forces, Ashenvale itself, left untended in the midst of war, began to transform. The forest grew wilder and more untamed. Its frequently traveled paths became overgrown, and the creatures dwelling within became increasingly ferocious. In the war's aftermath, the landscape of Ashenvale changed drastically. In pursuit of resources to fuel their war machine, the Horde established lumber camps, tearing through the ancient woods with unrelenting fervor, particularly in the eastern parts of the forest. Today, Ashenvale stands as a contested frontier, a battleground where the echoes of ancient wars blend with the clash of modern armies. The Night Elves, steadfast in their determination, fight to reclaim and protect their ancestral lands. The Horde, driven by necessity and ambition, continues to challenge their control over the region. So come, delve into the mysteries of Ashenvale, witness the ongoing struggle between the Horde and the Alliance beneath its canopy, and become part of a narrative that has been woven through the ages. Trekking through these forests is akin to journeying through enchanted wilds. As you step into the embrace of Ashenvale, you are immediately surrounded by the overwhelming beauty of nature, a realm where the harmony of the woods welcomes you into its serene fold. The weather, though generally mild, holds a persistent dampness, a mist that weaves through the towering trees and gently settles upon the many lakes and meandering rivers of the region. The rain, rarely more than a drizzle, seldom reaches the forest floor, shielded by the dense canopy above. This mystical, tree-covered landscape, imbued with the legacy of the Night Elves, is encircled by diverse and distinct regions, each with its own unique character. To the south of Ashenvale, the forest diverges into two remarkably distinct terrains. On one side lies the Stone Talon Mountains, a rugged and mountainous land marked by towering peaks and deep valleys. Adjacent to this lies the Barrens, a vast and arid savanna. This expansive area is defined by its open plains and scattered oases, offering a different but no less challenging environment. To the north, Ashenvale is flanked by Darkshore, a weather-beaten coastline battered by the relentless sea. This terrain, shrouded in a perpetual mist, harbors the resilient Night Elf communities that have claimed these lands. Further to the northeast lies Fellwood, a once lush forest now corrupted by demonic energies. Its twisted trees and tainted wildlife speak of the legacy of the Burning Legion. This corruption is also slowly seeping into the forests of Ashenvale, threatening to extend the Legion's dark influence even further. At the eastern borders of this Night Elven territory, one finds the mysterious and broken lands of Azshara, a beautiful coastal region cloaked in eternal autumn. Together, these surrounding areas form a mosaic of history, conflict, and natural wonder around Ashenvale, a crossroad of paths for travelers and explorers alike. This realm of enchanting beauty is not without its dangers. A great variety of wildlife thrives amidst the safety of the foliage in Ashenvale, from prowling bears and wolves to the mystical antlered griffin Sharp Talon. The air carries the howls of the worgen at dusk, and closer to the shores of Blackfathom Deeps, another threat lurks, the Naga. Transformed into creatures with serpentine bodies, these former Night Elves viciously and cunningly protect the waters they now call home. Yet beyond those threats, hidden within this ancient woodland, lies the Bow Shadow, one of the remaining portals to the Emerald Dream, a place of deep magic and lore. This gateway is protected by green dragons and their kin, a formidable assembly of guards who patrol the area with strength and wisdom. Venturing deeper inland, the forest bears the scars of demonic corruption, with satyrs and other malevolent creatures tainting its characteristic beauty. Scattered across the wilderness of Ashenvale, remnants of a Night Elven past such as Bathran's haunt are the silent witnesses to a bygone era, while the Furbolgs, a sentient race deeply connected to the natural world, have resided in these lands for centuries. These peaceful dwellers are now shrouded in rumors of a dark transformation, hinting at a growing corruption within. Here in Ashenvale, the spiritual bond to the ancestral homeland of the Night Elves is palpable, and in this vast wilderness, settlements are few but significant. The Night Elves maintain a series of outposts that reflect their inherent guardianship and timeless beauty, while the Horde, with their more recent encampments, bring a very different energy to the region, one driven by ambition and expansion. Step forward, brave adventurers, and witness the harmony of nature as it interlaces with the echoes of modern conflicts. Let the spirit of Ashenvale captivate your imagination and awaken your sense of wonder, drawing you into its magical embrace. In the sun-scorched expanse of the Barrens, a group of Horde adventurers have gathered, their eyes set northward towards the dense forests of Ashenvale. Their path, fueled by tales of conquest and driven by a need for resources, is one of ambition and expansion, and they greet the horizon with a fierce determination. Leaving the base camp of the Warsong Outriders and passing through the Morshan Rampart marking the boundary between the two territories, they feel as though they are entering a new world, a land steeped in age-old magic. The red earth of the Barrens gives way to the lush greenery of Ashenvale, and the air grows cooler as the emerald forest shields the sun's unrelenting warmth. The Horde warriors, eager for battle, find themselves at the threshold of the Splintertree post, their faction's major outpost in this contested land. This bastion of orcish strength was first carved out by Grom Hellscream and his Warsong clan during the Third War. Here, the explorers are greeted by the sight of Horde banners fluttering in the wind and the sounds of orcish drums. They know this will be their first base of operations in the heart of Ashenvale. Not far from the invading forces' settlement, across the road lies the Silverwing Outpost, a site of alliance resistance. The Night Elf Sentinels view the presence of the Warsong clan as a desecration of their sacred grounds, and have initiated a large-scale effort to reclaim Ashenvale from their occupation. The area between these 2 points has become a no-man's land, where skirmishes erupt without warning, and the balance of power shifts with each passing hour, offering a glimpse of the greater conflict that lies ahead. Venturing north from the Splintertree post, the forest paths lead us to Satyrnaar, a place where corruption has taken a firm foothold in the once pristine wilderness, making it a challenge to reclaim its natural beauty. Dominated by the Bleakheart sect, it has become the main satyr settlement in the forest, with the tainting blight extending from the Night Elven ruins of Xavian to the nearby Night Run. The former site was named in honor of Lord Xavius, a respected highborn who, after the Great Sundering, was reborn as a satyr. The ruins are currently under the watch of Prince Rayz, a striking figure distinguished by his magenta hue. Known for patrolling the camp with an air of authority, Prince Rayz is as powerful as he is notable in appearance. This sinister enclave of demons has formed an alliance with the cult of the Dark Strand, a faction known for its malevolent intentions and use of potent soul gems. These gems, filled with the trapped souls of highborn deceived during the breaking of the continents, grant the cult members exceptional powers. It is revealed that the demonic presence in the region serves as a shield, protecting these crystals with an eldritch veil. The turmoil in Satyrnaar and Xavian casts a shadow of doubt over the traditional clash of armies in Ashenvale, with both factions being unknowingly ensnared in a deeper, more concealed struggle. Here, the Horde's desire for expansion and the Night Elves' urge for protection of their homeland simultaneously grapple with encroaching corruption, a conflict that whispers of unnatural forces at play, subtly reshaping the fate of the land and foretelling challenges yet unseen. Meanwhile, a band of Alliance explorers, their spirits high and their gear clinking with each step, emerge from the dense forests of Darkshore, setting foot in Ashenvale for the first time. The lush, verdant landscape of towering trees and ethereal beauty greets them, a stark contrast to the rugged coastline they've just left behind. Largely sheltered from the brutal realities of factional warfare, they follow the winding path inland, where they come across the remains of Bathran's haunt, a place once inhabited by Night Elves but long since abandoned. The ruins, which have known nothing but silence and decay for millennia, have recently become a base of operations of an unnatural life force. In these secluded fringes, the agents of the Forsaken have set up makeshift laboratories, harnessing the local flora for their dark purposes. Under their presence, the forest floor has turned a sickly brown, and the vibrant flowers have wilted away, leaving behind a somber scene. Unaccustomed to the direct confrontation, members of the Alliance are presented with an unsettling truth. The evidence of the Horde's presence disrupts their once simplistic view, starkly illustrating that the tales of their natural enemies are not just stories, but a jarring reality that now challenges the ideals and readiness for the conflicts that lie ahead. Despite their inexperience in all-out warfare, the majority of the Alliance adventurers skillfully avoid direct clashes with the Horde, opening their eyes to the complexities of factional rivalries. The encounter at the ruins, a grim peek into the realm of newfound hostilities, will prepare us for the more daunting trials that await as we move deeper into these age-old woodlands. As we follow the forest path stretching out before us, we eventually reach Maestra's post. This tranquil outpost, adorned with Night Elven architecture, echoes with the tumult of conflict. The Night Elves stationed here are stretched thin, and alongside them, Firo Ironhand and Delgrin the Purifier, the outpost's human defenders, are locked in a desperate struggle. As part of a company of Argent Dawn paladins, Firo and Delgrin arrived in Ashenvale with a mission to aid the local protectors of the forest in purging the land of demons and the undead. Together, they face the advancing menace of the Horde, a threat intensified by the malignant influence of the Dark Strand sect. The malevolent cult's magics seep into the land, casting a long shadow of uncertainty across the region and corrupting the native wildlife who have made this forest their shelter for centuries. The fur bogs, inherently vigilant and peaceful beings, are progressively losing command of their own will, succumbing to this sinister external influence one by one. Delgrin's knowledge of Orcish, a skill frowned upon by his superiors, becomes an invaluable asset in this complex conflict. His ability to understand and anticipate the enemy's strategies enhances the defenders' efforts to combat these threats more effectively. the struggle at Maestra's post is emblematic of the larger battle for Ashenvale, where the lines between friend and foe become increasingly blurred. In the northwestern corner of Ashenvale, a beach of incredible history whispers tales of time-honored glory and present darkness. Once the site of the illustrious Night Elven city of Zoram, it now lies submerged beneath the veiled sea. The Strand, lost and nearly forgotten by the Night Elves, has witnessed the return of disturbing forces as the Naga claim dominion over its shores. These serpentine creatures, honoring the malevolent Hydra Vorsha the Lasher, signal an ominous resurgence of bygone evils. As a territory of strategic importance for both factions, the struggle for dominance over this area has led to the Horde establishing the Zoram Gar outpost as a crucial foothold, directly facing retaliation from the nearby Alliance settlements. Amidst this turmoil, an even greater threat lurks beneath, concealed within the bowels of a former, partially underwater temple. Once a sacred site dedicated to the moon goddess Elune, it has been corrupted into a shrine of unspeakable horror by the Twilight's Hammer cult. The cult's unholy union with the Naga serves a singular purpose: to nurture a monstrous embodiment of the old gods until it is ready to rise and unleash its chaos upon the continent. Today, the control over the Zoram Strand transcends mere territorial disputes, evolving into a conflict of ancient legacies and present ambitions. As the forces of the Horde and the Alliance vie for supremacy over this cursed coastline, the true battle is against the looming danger beneath the waves, where the fate of Ashenvale may well be decided in the shadows of the Black Fathom deeps. Leaving behind the conflicts at the shores of Ashenvale, our story turns eastward once more to the heart of the Horde's industrious spirit, the Warsong lumber camp. Tasked with supplying the faction's war efforts with wood and other raw materials, the camp's operations are relentless, stripping the forest of its ancient trees and altering the landscape irrevocably. The local wildlife, usually thriving amidst the rich undergrowth, finds itself displaced, their habitats vanishing under the march of saws and axes. The Night Elves, stewards of the forest, watch in horror as their sacred land is desecrated. Their attempts to protect Ashenvale are met with the harsh resistance of the Horde's insatiable demand for resources, leading to escalating tensions and confrontations. Within the lumber camp lies Kargathia Keep, a stronghold named in honor of the legendary Orcish hero Kargath Bladefist. This outpost, with its robust wooden palisades and the constant bustle of activity, serves as the nerve center for the Warsong officers stationed here. Its proximity to Orgrimmar ensures quick reinforcements should disputes with the Alliance intensify, underscoring its critical role in the Horde's military network. Overseen by the formidable Gorthak, the camp stands on the precipice of war. As the Warsong lumber camp expands its reach, the discord between the Horde's industrial might and the Night Elves' fervent guardianship of nature is an indication of the broader conflict over the soul of Ashenvale, a land caught between preservation and conquest. Venturing beyond the Horde-controlled borders, we find ourselves at the Demon Fall Canyon, a stark rift in Ashenvale's secluded southern corner, bearing the scars of a battle that echoes through history. The canyon, located south of Fellfire Hill and just east of Demon Fall Ridge, has become the final resting place of the pit lord Manaroth. Here the air is thick with fell corruption, reminding all who pass through this place of dread of the titanic clash where Grommash, Hellscream and Thrall faced the colossal pit lord. It was Grommash's axe, with a decisive cleave into the demon lord's chest, that led to the ultimate undoing of Manaroth. In the aftermath of the monumental battle where both Grommash and the pit lord fell, the canyon's very essence was irrevocably altered. The explosion that marked the demon's undoing unleashed a wave of fell energy seeping deep into the earth, air, and flora. This hallowed ground has since become a pilgrimage site, where orcs honor the memory of Hellscream's ultimate sacrifice, a warrior who gave all he had to break the chains of the Burning Legion's curse upon his people. As the echoes of the Horde's endeavors fade into the distance, our gaze shifts back to the Alliance, whose quest for peace and preservation leads us to the southwest of Ashenvale's enchanted woods, where the delicate balance between nature and civilization is ever more palpable. Upon reaching the shrine of Aessina, we come across the remnants of what was once a revered place of worship. Overgrown with moss and ivy, the ruins tell a tale of a bygone era, their silence echoing forgotten ceremonies and prayers. The atmosphere is charged with a solemn respect, adding to the weight of history and the loss that pervades the sanctuary. The trail continues southward to the ruins of Stardust, located on a small island. Here, the scene transforms dramatically. The once serene lake is now tainted, corrupting the surrounding flora and fauna. Large bog beasts, twisted by the lake's poisonous properties, roam amidst the remaining structures, and the area is enveloped in a sickly blight of a yellowish-green hue, reminding those who pass through here of Felwood's demonic influence. The journey then leads to the Talon Deep Path, an extensive tunnel that connects Ashenvale with the Stone Talon Mountains. Situated just west of Mistral Lake, the entrance to the tunnel presents an intricate labyrinth of passages, promising untold stories that await beyond its winding paths. But the adventure of the Stone Talon Mountains remains a chapter for another time, as Ashenvale's tale still demands its due before we climb to other heights. As we set out from the concealed groves of the southwest, we are surrounded by the lush, thick foliage that is characteristic of Ashenvale. The dense forest gradually opens up, revealing a more defined path leading us towards Astranaar. This night elven village, nestled on an island within a tranquil lake, emerges as a haven amid the wilds. The site of the town, with its elegant structures and bridges connecting it to the mainland, is a welcome one, and upon arriving in Astranaar, the group is greeted by the sight of its lively streets and the serene beauty of its natural surroundings. The air is filled with the gentle hum of activity as night elves and their allies go about their daily routines. The town is a hub for travelers and explorers alike, offering various services such as an inn for a night's rest and a flight master for those looking to travel further. Here, amidst the fragrant blooms and gently flowing waters, a sense of peace and a deeper connection to the natural world envelop the explorers. As they mingle with the inhabitants, they hear of nearby wonders and warnings. To the north, near the mystical Iris Lake, lies the Moonwell of Purity, a source of enchanting waters vital to the Night Elves' magic and healing. This well, one among several hidden throughout Ashenvale's forests, is pivotal in maintaining the Night Elves' spiritual bond with the wilderness and the Moon Goddess. The tales take a somber turn as the inhabitants recount the plight of Thistlefur village to the north of Astranaar, home to a tribe of furbogs whose corruption has made them increasingly hostile. These guardians of the forest now lash out against anyone who crosses their path, driven by a malevolence that has darkened their once peaceful nature. The Night Elves, deeply connected to the land and its inhabitants, strive tirelessly to combat these corrupting forces, holding on to the hope that the furbogs can be restored to their natural, gentle demeanor. Enriched by stories of ancient beings and mystical lore, the adventurers find themselves spellbound. Yet, as night falls, a palpable tension stirs in the east. Whispers of unrest and discord seep through the trees, carrying with them the scent of impending conflict. Beyond the serene groves and purifying moonwells, the reality of factional warfare looms in the distance. In the northern reaches of Ashenvale, where the wind carries the whispers of epochs past, lies a tree of great importance. This majestic outpost, known as Rainwood Retreat, acts as a sanctuary of peace and guardianship. Here, Ordil'Aran, the keeper of the grove, dedicates his existence to the legacy of his father, the forest god Satyrnaar. With the death of his father, Ordil'Aran has returned to these woods, emboldened by a mission to restore the harmony once orchestrated by Cenarius himself. Surrounded by the vigilant Cenarian protectors and the graceful laughing sisters, the retreat watches over the path to Felwood, a land tainted by corruption. These guardians of nature stand firm, ensuring no malevolent force crosses its border and desecrates the purity of Ashenvale. This sanctuary, however, is not beyond the reach of darkness. Braylin Firehand, masquerading as a servant of the Horde but bound to the will of the Shadow Council, has marked Ordil'Aran for death. Driven by her ambition to disrupt the natural order and reclaim the forest's magic for the Council's own purposes, Firehand's schemes threaten to unravel the fabric of peace that the Keeper of the Grove and his allies have so diligently woven. The tranquility of the retreat is shattered when the Horde, deceived by Braylin's manipulation, advances upon Rainwood, aiming to sever the lineage of Cenarius by claiming the life of his son. The attack on the Guardian of the Forest is not merely an assassination, it is a blow aimed at the heart of Ashenvale, intended to cripple the land's defenders and pave the way for the Shadow Council's dark designs. This act of aggression, born from deception and a thirst for power, ignites the fuse of conflict, propelling both the Horde and the Alliance toward an inevitable clash. The battle lines are drawn, not just around the fate of Ordil'Aran, but around the future of Ashenvale itself, marking the beginning of a new chapter of hostility. As both factions brace themselves for the storm, the echoes of war ripple through the forest, a harbinger of the chaos to come. The secluded region, once a haven of whispers and wisdom, quickly evolves into a battleground for the unfolding drama, setting the stage for the larger confrontation looming on the horizon. Here, the full might of the Horde and the Alliance will collide, driven by a blend of honor, vengeance, and the unshakable desire to protect what is sacred. Both the Horde and Alliance explorers set their sights on the Silverwing Grove, where the scent of burned wood hangs heavy in the air. The lush groves of Ashenvale begin to give way to the dry lands of the Barrens, and in the distance, the clamor of combat draws near, signaling the onset of a pivotal struggle that has long been brewing beneath the canopy of this ancient forest. As both factions edge closer to the battleground, the sounds of swords clashing and the battle cries of the many warriors engaged in fierce confrontation with each other becomes more and more intense. Situated between the contrasting lands of Kalimdor, these groups of combatants at long last set foot in Warsong Gulch, an arena of never-ending strife where the tension between the Horde and Alliance erupts into open warfare. The significance of this place, marked by the scars of past disputes and the relentless drive of both sides for supremacy, cannot be overstated. The Warsong Outriders persist in their deforestation efforts, stoking the flames of conflict with the Night Elves, further deepening the rift between the factions and pushing the fragile ecosystem of Ashenvale to the brink of irreversible damage. The Silverwing Sentinels, guardians of the night and stewards of this wilderness, have also rallied to the cause. With fierce determination, they pledge to purge Warsong Gulch of the Horde's presence, ensuring that not a single orc remains to ravage their sacred woods. The geography of the battleground, with its dense forests bordering open plains, creates a natural amphitheater for this endless struggle for superiority. Drawn by the call to arms, heroes of every race and creed converge upon the Gulch, their blades unsheathed and their arrows at the ready. Elves and orcs, humans and trolls, dwarves and tauren, all are compelled by a sense of duty, retaliation or glory, eager to lend their sword or spell to the fray. In Warsong Gulch, the exchange of blows never truly ends. It merely pauses, catching its breath before surging forth once again. It is here, in the clashing of steel and the rush for the enemy banner, that the future of Ashenvale, and perhaps the fate of the world, hangs in the balance. And so, dear wanderers, we come to the end of our journey through the mystical lands of Ashenvale. As we draw the curtains on our travels, I am filled with gratitude for your companionship along this path. Together, We've wandered through ancient forests, crossed swords in age-old conflicts, and discovered stories woven into the very essence of Azeroth. Thank you for joining me through the rolling hills and shadowed glades of this Night Elven territory. Your presence has made this exploration not just a recounting of tales, but a shared adventure that breathes life into the lore we cherish. As twilight descends upon the towering trees of these lands, casting long shadows over the forest floor, our trails diverge, each to their own destiny. But fear not, for the saga of this world is rich and unending, and this adventure is but a chapter in a grander story that continues to unfold. Now that we part ways, remember the lessons of Ashenvale, the valor, the vigilance, and the understanding that amidst its untamed beauty, the Alliance and Horde etch their stories into the earth. Both factions, in their quest for dominion, remain keenly aware that the true enemy may not always be the one holding the flag. Until we meet again, and may your paths be guided by the light of Elune and the strength of the Ancients.